If you're looking for the cheapest and most reliable Madden 22 coins on the market, check out my sponsor, MMOEXPR.com. Links are in the description, and use code JEDI at checkout for 5% off. Alrighty, hey there guys, Idorcast here, aka JediRun95, coming at you guys with another video. So in this video, guys, it is going to be talking about the AP update. Now they have finally dropped their notes on the AP update and how they're going to be changing things up. So as you can see right away, right here, defensive AP is going up to 18 and offense is not changing at all. So for the AP update limit. And then for the offensive AP update, this is mainly just a, fuck you escape artist ability, which definitely was needed. Escape artist is now going up 5 AP on all archetypes for quarterbacks, and edge protector is going up 1 AP on all offensive line archetypes. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this, and after reading these notes over a few times, I agree with it even less now because of something that they did for the AP up for the Edge Threat Elite later on. But I understand why they did it, because obviously Edge Threat, basic Edge Threat, is 2 AP, and obviously it can get countered by a 1 AP Edge Protector, right? So it makes sense why they did it. I just don't necessarily think it should have been done. But that being said, let's move on to the defense. Now, defense, this was just a linebacker and defensive line AP update, but there was quite a bit of changes that I think definitely were needed for these teams, for these players. So, pick artist for linebackers is now going to be 1 AP on all archetypes. Now, this doesn't mean shit unless you have Lurker, honestly, because Lurker makes your linebackers jump. So, honestly, it don't mean shit until you have that ability. And speaking of Lurker, they are dropping it by 1 AP on all run stopper, outside, and middle linebackers. They're dropping that Lurker down 1 AP, which is great. Makes linebackers a little bit more usable. Obviously, I would argue there should be 0 AP, but Lurker going down to 1 AP on all linebackers is a great change overall. Enforcer coming down to 1 AP, coming down 1 AP on all linebacker archetypes. So that means that on run stoppers and on run stoppers and field generals, it is going to be 1 AP for Enforcer, and then for pass coverage linebackers, it's going to be 2 AP, which is fine. It's fine. It is what it is with that. But that's just something that I needed to talk about. That I really have something to. What's the word I'm looking for? That is just something that I don't really know if. Yeah, you get the point. Tackle Supreme, they're dropping down to 1. They're dropping it down 1 AP on power and speed rusher outside linebackers. So that means now that Tackle Supreme is going to be 2 AP on outside linebackers, power and speed rusher. Deep in zone KO is going to be going down 1 AP on all field general middle linebackers. So that means it's dropping to 2, which honestly, it is what it is. I really don't use deep in zone KO like that, and I don't really know a lot of people who do, to be completely fair. So it is what it is with that, but deep in zone KO definitely is a little bit like wild, going down to 2 AP. Inside stuff though, sorry guys, I'm looking at my phone at the same time of me recording because I'm getting some notifications and shit, so I apologize. Inside stuff is going down 1 AP on run stoppers, speed rushers, power rushers, and pass coverage linebackers. So obviously it is now going to be 2 or 1 AP respectively, 2 or 1 AP respectively. So run stoppers, it's now going to be 1 AP, and then power, speed, and pass coverage linebackers, it is going to be 2 AP, which is great. The more help stop the run a little bit, the better, because runners don't deserve to win any games, in my personal opinion. You just don't deserve to win any games. You should have to win the game by passing the ball and being very effective by making reads and passing and calling plays to beat certain play concepts. All that shit. You gotta pass the ball. So inside stuff going down is great. Secure tackler going down on speed and power rusher outside linebackers. This is the last linebacker change. Not necessarily don't know why they did this, but it's going down to 2 AP for them, which is weird. Again, I don't necessarily think it should be, but it is what it is. Now let's move over to the defensive line. Whew, I apologize, I had to yawn real quick. So Enforcer is going down to 2 AP on all defensive tackles and defensive ends archetypes. So what does that mean? Now it's going to cost 1 AP on all defensive ends and defensive tackles. for Enforcer. Do I agree? Not really. Like, for the most part, people with their defensive linemen are just putting on inside stuff or edge threat or like some other run abilities and stuff of that nature. So it is what it is. But Enforcer is definitely something that could be changed, I guess. This one is a big change in my personal opinion. I think it's one of the more underrated changes that they have done. Defensive Rally is now going down 1 AP on all speed and power rusher archetypes. So now that means the Defensive Rally is going to cost a whopping 1 AP. Now, do I agree with this change? Honestly, I kind of do. Anything to help the pass rush a little bit, especially on new gen. Anything to help out pass rush a little bit is always going to be welcomed. And also having it to where, you get something like that for 1 AP, getting an extra pass rush point and then stacking it on top. You get like 2 defensive rallies, guys. You got 2 extra pass rush points. So I think that's a W. Do I necessarily think it's going to work? Probably not, because I don't necessarily know if people are going to utilize that ability like that. Goal line stuff is going down 1 AP on all defensive end and tackle archetypes, meaning that this is now going to cost 1 AP for goal line stuff. Now, I don't think this is going to do a whole lot, but, goal line stuff works on inside and outside zone runs, so obviously working on stretch, goal line is going to work. Inside stuff, now this is another big one. Inside stuff is dropping to 1 AP on all run stopper defensive ends, and down 1 AP on speed and speed rusher defensive ends and defensive tackles. I like this change. I think this change right here was a little bit overdue for run stopper defensive ends. Guys like Adama Kung Su were not very playable because they didn't get inside stuff for 1 AP, and they quite frankly should have. But now that we have that, Adama Kung Su might see a little bit more play. You might get some more run stopper ends playing D tackles, all that shenanigans. So I think that's a great change. So Tackle Supreme going down by 1 on all defensive tackle and defensive end archetypes. Don't necessarily think, and same with Secure Tackle, I don't necessarily think this is going to be very impactful, honestly. I really don't think that's going to be very impactful. But this next one I think is the best change of this entire AP update other than the Escape Artist change. And then it's Edge Threat Elite. It is going down 1 AP on all defensive end and defensive tackles archetypes. So that means that on every archetype in the game for defensive end and defensive tackles, Edge Threat Elite is going to cost a whopping 3 AP, which means you get basically 2 abilities for 3 AP. Because Edge Threat Elite, for those of you that don't know what it does, it gives you Edge Threat and Under Pressure at the same time. It gives you those 2 abilities for 3 AP. For 4 AP, which was a perfect balance because obviously Under Pressure is 2 AP and Edge Threat Elite was 2 AP. Edge Threat was 2 AP as well. So you put them together, obviously 2 plus 2 equals 4. But now they're dropping it down to 3 AP, which I think is a great change, especially for new gen, because again, new gen pass rush needs to get better. It's not as good as it should be. But because of this change, is one of the reasons I disagree with the Edge Protector change even more, because especially on current gen, Edge Threat Elite is just Edge Threat on current gen. If you don't have an Edge Protector, you're getting fucking smoked at like 90% of the time. You're getting fucking smoked about 80 to 90%. So Edge Threat Elite, even if it works like a small Under Pressure, it does help out a little bit, because even when you put a contain up and you guys are containing, if they try to roll out, obviously they're going to get the Under Pressure, which means they're going to get a bad throw, which means they're going to throw it like 30 yards away or something like that, whatever. And they're going to, or if they're pursuing down, say for example, they do manage to escape out of the pocket and the Edge Threat Elite is coming by and they're trying to chase the guy down and the guy tries to throw the ball, well, obviously that Under Pressure is going to trigger. So Edge Threat Elite, in my opinion, was a big change. And I think it's a great change. Not so much for current gen, but next gen, definitely, because again, pass rush on next gen just needs to be better. It's just not that good. The linemen are very the defensive line is very passive. Unless they're getting double teamed, then they play like they have the might of fucking Lawrence Taylor. But other than that, so that's basically it for the defense, for the ability changes that did happen. Now I'm going to talk about a few that I think should have happened that did not happen. We'll start on offense. There's 3 changes I think should have happened. First was Identifier not going down to 1 AP. I think that's a bummer. I think that should have been I think identifier should be 1 AP. Again, I would argue it should be 0. I've said this before, but the fact that it's still 2 AP does suck. I'm still going to use it because I need that. I love that information, just knowing who you're using. Now, Edge Protector I probably won't use anymore because, 4 AP for 2 abilities, that's a little bit extreme. I mean, I could cut identifier, but I'd rather have the information than the extra pass protection. At least for now. Probably will change it later on. But identifier not changing was a little bit of a bummer. Deep out elite has not changed either. It is going to remain the same. So it is still 1 AP on deep threats and route runner wide receivers, which, yeah, I'm not a fan of that either, guys. I think it should change. Deep out elite is a little bit crazy to me. So it is what it is with that. And then the last one that wasn't changed that I think absolutely should have been was the route apprentice abilities. The single spot, slot, wide receiver, slot, outside, and tight end. I think they should have dropped to 1 AP for each specific spot on all archetypes. I'm not talking about the route apprentice for tight ends. I'm not talking about the wide receiver apprentice for route run for wide receivers. No, I'm talking about the specific ones in a specific area. Only should be 1 AP because me personally, it's fundamentally broken how, to me, that all costs the same amount. That one of those abilities can cost the same amount as a hot route master. It doesn't make sense to me. I think it should have changed, but alas, it was not. Defensively, there was a lot of good changes. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of good changes. Edge threat elite being a big change was definitely really good. And also bringing down Enforcer and Lurker, I think, was a big change as well. However, there's a couple of changes that I think should have happened, mainly for defensive backs. The first is pick artist. I would argue this should be 0 AP. I think you should not have to pay AP to catch a damn pick, especially in this game. But to be honest, they didn't touch it, and I'm a little bit bummed about that. Or bringing Acrobat down to 1 AP, I think should have been the other thing they should have did. But they didn't do that. So defensive backs did get left out to dry this AP update. They did not focus on any abilities for DBs, which does suck because they definitely needed some help as well. I don't really think the problem with with defense was the linebackers, because nobody uses linebackers unless your name is me. Nobody really uses linebackers like that. So having more defensive backs out there, obviously, they needed the help, in my personal opinion. They definitely needed the help. So it is what it is with that. And then the last one that they did not address was no outsiders. Now, I'm thinking, I only recently just thought about this. I think they should have put down no outsiders to 1 AP on all run-stopping defensive linemen, and brought down no outsiders to 1 AP on all speed rushers. Because now, when it comes to runners, the natural progression, now that inside stuff is, if you have a shit ton of inside stuffs, the next natural progression is just going to move to outside zone runs. They're going to start calling stretches. They're going to start calling tosses. They're going to start calling sweeps. That's another one. I'm trying to think of all the outside zone run plays. But now people are going to start calling that, right, to gain their yardage. And I understand you can contain that run a lot better, right? You can pursue that run a lot more better, and you can definitely get in the backfield a little bit better and shoot the gap. However, it's not as good as it was last year. Pursuing runs for stretches and outside zone runs was a lot easier last year because the defense actually reacted to outside zone runs a lot easier because of the atrocity that was Madden 20's run game. Again, I don't necessarily know for certain. I would assume it's pretty bad if Eric Dickerson was pissing people off. But you see the point, right? Like, now the natural progression is going to be to move to outside zone. So you definitely need to do something with that. But unfortunately, they didn't do anything with that. But we'll wait and see. That I don't think is a big deal at this moment. But we'll have to wait and see, because obviously it definitely was something that needed to be addressed. But that is going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit the like button below and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Seahawks team video lineup update will be tomorrow. I decided to wait until the AP update came in. Now that we know the information for it, I'm going to put the video out tomorrow. Probably tomorrow night, tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, see what comes up. But overall, these are the notes. I'll put a link in the description to the AP update if you want to read it yourself. But I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. I'm out. Peace.